So Prabhupada starts explaining that the malicious nature of the jiva hinders him to surrender. It's interesting. We have a malicious nature which acts against our own good. The ego doesn't want to surrender. Like bad. Böse, schlecht, bad, malicious. No? Malus, bonus, malus, good and bad. So malicious means bad. So we have a bad tendency. We are naturally bad. The jiva in the material world is naturally bad. He wants his own will over others, and yeah, this egoism makes us bad. And so we have to overcome this egoistic mentality. And yeah, this is not so easy. So step by step, so Bhakti Yoga, we overcome that. And Prabhupada contrasts this malicious person with the Paramahamsa. So the Paramahamsa is the one who overcame his ego completely. There is no ego anymore. He's completely surrendered to Krishna. He loves Krishna. He worships Krishna. He's a servant of Krishna. He's a servant of the Vaishnavas. Completely pure devotee, right? Paramahamsa. And then Prabhupada explains also in this purport that you cannot become a Paramahamsa with any other technique but Bhakti Yoga. Because you might think, oh, this sounds good to be Paramahamsa, so what can I do to become so pure and so happy and so advanced? And you have speculative processes and things like this, but this will never work. The only way how to become Paramahamsa is Bhakti Yoga, surrender to Krishna. So this is nobody wants that. Nobody wants that in the material world, in Kali Yuga especially. In Kali Yuga, people want everything cheap. Yeah, they want to have a kingdom of God without God. They want to have it very nice in this world. Everything should be there for enjoyment. We are all nice to each other. But no God. God is very bad. So this ideal world and ideal reality is only possible in the spiritual world, where Krishna is in the center. So if this is imitated without God, it will never work. This is the demonic mentality. Yeah? Like Ravana was stealing Sita from Ram. So in the same way, materialistic people, they steal the riches, the niceness, everything from Krishna. They want to have it for themselves without serving Krishna. So the Lord appears all the time to correct this misunderstanding, to show himself. Yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttamanam adharmasya tat atmanam sichamyaham. Whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious principles, practice, I appear myself and I show what is dharma, to liberate the devotees and to kill the demons. I appear age after age. So today is this Brahmotsava festival where Narasingha Dev's installation from 1982 is celebrated. So the Lord appeared, Narasingha Dev appeared to kill Hiranyakashipu, who was a big troublemaker. He was ruling the whole universe. He was such a powerful demon that he could rule the whole universe. He overcame all the demigods. He was so powerful. And Narasingha Dev appeared in a certain form, Krishna appeared in a certain form to kill Hiranyakashipu in a wonderful fight. And so in 1982, the devotees here also thought we need a special, powerful form of the Lord to be protected. And the best is Narasingha Dev. It's very unusual. Prabhupada was not installing Narasingha Dev. Prabhupada was installing Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra, Gaur-Nitai, Krishna Balaram. I think that's it. These are the forms but most of the time Prabhupada was establishing, I think, yeah, Radha Krishna, Gaur-Nitai. Then Prabhupada Jagannath, and then a couple of times Krishna Balaram. But not Narasingha Dev. Prabhupada introduced the worship of Narasingha Dev, so the chanting of the Narasingha Pranam. And this had also a special occasion. This was, I think it was in 1967, when Prabhupada was very ill. And then he thought he might die. And I think he was in India, and he sent the devotees then, he said to them, they should chant this Narasingha Pranam. And then they chanted it a lot to save the spiritual master. Wasn't it like this? Huh? He was in the hospital in USA? No, he was in the hospital in USA. Okay. Cannot remember exactly. Yeah. So Prabhupada introduced worship of Narasingha Dev. So it was there, but not as a deity form. Not as a deity. So in 1982, the devotees who were here active thought of Narasingha Dev to have him here. But we have to say, at that time, there was also Hare Krsna here on this altar. Right? On this altar here was Radha Madha Mohan, who are now in Goloka Dham. So it was not only Narasingha Dev here. This later changed, they took Radha Madha Mohan away. We don't want to talk about that. So it was under Harikesh, now Prabhu, who was the GBC at that time. And I heard that he was traveling with a Narasingha Dev deity. He had a Narasingha Dev deity, a small deity. And he had somehow thought, yeah, this deity will protect him from ghosts and bad influences and things like this. And was traveling, and he had one Puchari with him, his Puchari servant, who was Krishna Kshetra, now Maharaj. He was traveling with Harikesh and worshipping this Narasingha Dev deity. And somehow or other they came then to the idea, why don't we have a big Narasingha Dev here in Simhachalam? And so they ordered this deity, or made this possible. And another reason why they thought of Narasingha Dev as actually a whole farm, the idea was to have a remote place out in nowhere, like this. We are like here in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? It's kind of nowhere-ish. Right? It's in, the next next village is Jandelsbrunn, which is far away actually. We are not living in Jandelsbrunn, huh? We are not living in Jandelsbrunn directly, right? You belong to Jandelsbrunn somehow or other. That's the reason also why we have to call ourselves ISKCON Jandelsbrunn, which is, I don't like it, but it's only my personal thing. If I was talking with Grandma recently, why are we calling ourselves ISKCON Jandelsbrunn? I have nothing to do with Jandelsbrunn. I'm not living in Jandelsbrunn. I never go there. We don't preach in Jandelsbrunn. We don't distribute books in Jandelsbrunn or do Harinam or whatever. And we don't even live there. We are far away. We should be called ISKCON Simhachalam. But it's somehow rather from a legal point of view, I don't know, corporate identity. We have to call ourselves by the name of the nearest town or something. I don't know. I understand if I'm ISKCON New York or ISKCON, Munich or ISKCON, something like that. That sounds cool, right? ISKCON New York. Wow. But ISKCON Jandelsbrunn is like, what? Why? Why? But anyway, it's like that. It's like that, and don't question it, Yeah, things you shouldn't question. No, actually it's not true. Actually there are things we can question everything. This is also demonic mentality, that there are things you shouldn't question. Okay, maybe there's some special issues in Shastra, and you think, we should not question. You don't want to be a heretic. Heretic? Heretic is someone who doubts the philosophy, doubts the religion, and then they kick him out. No, they're heretics. Okay. But we can see in Bhagavatam, Parikshit, he was questioning a lot. He was not taking everything. Arjuna wasn't taking everything, even from the Supreme Lord. Krishna said to him, I spoke this philosophy a long time ago to the sun god, and he gave it to his son Manu, and he gave it to Ikshvaku. And then Parikshit was not, yes. He said, now, wait a minute, what? How is this possible? You are my cousin. You are young like me, 120 years old. Right, on the battlefield, you were 120 years, it said. No, we are young, How can it be that you spoke millions of years ago to the sun god? How is this possible? So he doubted. Not doubted, he had a question. Parikshit has a question doubting the most elevated description or thing of the whole Bhagavatam. What is this? The Rasa Lila. the most elevated, auspicious, wonderful thing. After the whole story was told, Parikshit says, isn't it a little bit weird? Isn't it a little bit weird that Krishna, our Lord, dances with married girls at night? So I don't really understand that. He says like that. Even Parikshit says like this. And then Shukadev says, never question the powerful. Never question the powerful. You know, who are you to ask? No, not like this. But he said, and anyway, it's not karma. It's not lust. It's spiritual. Because if you listen to Krishna's lusty descriptions, you become free from lust. It's an interesting argument, it's a powerful argument that we can say this is not material. Because if it would be material, then you would become very incited by lust. But if you listen to Ras Leela, you become free from lust. So he tells this to Parikshit. But my point is, questioning is good. We should question things, but in an appropriate way, of course. So if you have a problem with Yandelspoon, then we could speak our concern, but still in the end we should be cooperative. So I put now also on all my flyers and visit cards and YouTube channel ISKCON Yandelspoon. No, I will not do this, of course, but I could. Just to show a sign of unity. Yes, I'm also ISKCON Yandelspoon. Yeah, anyway, how I come to this? Yeah, so Yandelspoon, so they searched for this remote place out in nowhere, and this is what they found. It's a great place. It was an old farm building. Actually, there's a photo, an old photo. I don't know. It was hanging in the hallway. I don't know where it's now, in your office or where. If you want to see, it's nice. It's an old photo. I don't know. Is it from where is it taken? It's from a helicopter or something, from a plane, and it's maybe from, I don't know, it's a black and white, and you see how it was looking before devotees came here. You see the old building and what was here. So when devotees came here, they bought this farm, and then they renovated and installed Narasingha in 1982. And I heard one of the reasons why they searched for this place so far away is because at that time there was the heavy Cold War going on. And devotees were taking this into account, and it was very clear. They thought that the World War will happen. Third World War will happen. Can happen any moment. And the propaganda was like this. Like now, a little bit like nowadays. Nowadays is not so heavy, the propaganda, but a bit. No? Why is NATO going so far into East and taking Ukraine and going to the Balticum and Poland also? Always bad. The Russians, we have to protect ourselves from the Russians. It's still there. But not at that time, it was much more intense. And there was a border between East Europe and West Europe. It's called Iron Curtain. Actually, where I grew up, I was living very close to Iron Curtain. When we went to Hungary, sometimes we went to Hungary, so my parents, then we had to cross the border and they checked you and was everything serious. Yeah, so there was divided, and there was lots of propaganda. The bad Russians, this is what they do, and any moment they can come, and we have to protect ourselves. And the Russians, oh, the bad Americans, and bad NATO, and this and that. So the devotees thought, yeah, might happen. World War might happen. So we have to be far away. We have to have a temple far away from the cities, because if World War comes, they will fight in cities and destroy cities, and they bomb everything. And so we protect to protect. So get a farm and get a deity who can protect nicely. Narasingha. Interesting, huh? This was one of their reasons. Not too unreasonable, actually. And, of course, because Prabhupada mentioned it a couple of times, that there will come a world war. Prabhupada mentioned it. Prabhupada actually wrote a letter. Once he said a date. I think it was like this. He said, world war will happen at this and this time. And then someone didn't start, and he was asked, Prabhupada, when Krishna changed his mind. Krishna changed his mind. Yeah. So Prabhupada said, yeah, world war, they have so many atom bombs, and they will use them, they have to use them, world war will happen. And then he said, but your book distribution, if you distribute many books, you can change that. You can prevent it to happen. So powerful is the Sankirtan. And we understand, of course, that Sankirtan, this is, of course, now fanatic Sankirtan devotee thinking, that Sankirtan book distribution destroyed the UdSSR. Hare Krishna. We destroyed it. You know, when was it? 1989? Or when was it? 90? When the impossible happened. This communistic regime of the bad Russians, which was the opponent of the West, overnight fell into pieces. It was a huge thing. UdSSR was huge, and suddenly we don't want to be anymore UdSSR, and we split up in many countries, and we be very nice now to the West. And who was it? Gorbachev, no? Gorbachev. And why was this? Because we distributed so many books in Russia. We did it. You know, this political thing outside there. Who was it in Berlin? In Ronald Reagan. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down these walls. This is just external. The real reason was book distribution. Book distribution. Change the world. Yeah? Anyways, we can think like that. If it's true or not, who knows. But book distribution is definitely very powerful. So this is the reason why they installed Narasingha Dev here, to protect the devotees, and he is for sure doing that in a physical sense, but more important in a spiritual way, to make us free from this malicious tendency that we don't want to surrender, and then we have anarthas. And also in this prayer from Prahlad Maharaj, it's said like that, with your nails like thunderbolt and your teeth, you rip apart the material desires, the tendency for material activities. I offer my respect for obeisances unto Lord Narasingha Dev, who is, what is it? With nails and teeth like thunderbolts. I forgot it. I cannot only know it in, huh? I only can in English. Now, anyway, this is what he does to destroy our material desires. And in the purport, Prabhupada explains this material desires is like Hiranyakashipu personified. Hiranyakashipu is the personified material desires. And as Narasingha Dev killed Hiranyakashipu, he can kill also our material desires. So the Lord appears whenever there's trouble, when people are not surrendered. He always appears when there's need, and nowadays he appeared as the Hare Krishna movement, as the Maha Mantra, as the holy name, and is saving this world, which is controlled by demons. Yes, this world is controlled by demons, and they are having their weirdest plans for world control. Now they have made some new law about internet, that they can control. It's very interesting because this internet, it developed so quickly and so uncontrollable, and in internet everyone can speak his mind and can do many things. And it comes now more and more like this, that the media or alternative media of the internet is a serious threat for the established media, for the newspapers and for the TV channels and for the state propaganda machine. In Germany they have a new term now for the media, and we can cut this out because I'm not, in one sense, not allowed to say that. Censoring. So we'll cut. Or is this live stream? No, it's not live stream. It's a new term for media. It's called Lügenpresse. Oh, I said it. Oh no, I said it. Lügenpresse means like lying press. You know, they print their lies and then spread this. Because so much propaganda, they're doing so many lies and so much cheating, and in the internet, so many alternative media comes up who have a more differentiated view on things. And many people consume this news and they say it's true, this is Lügenpresse. They spread their lies, they cheat, they manipulate all these big news stations and newspapers. And the big news stations lose, day by day, they lose people and money and subscriptions. I don't have any numbers, but it said it's big. Like the Bild-Zeitung or Süddeutsche or FAZ, all these established newspapers in Germany, they are going down, and this is very good. This is very good. Because we have our experience too. The Hare Krishna movement was so often defamed and wrongly presented by newspaper in the 70s, 80s, and recently too. So we don't have to be fans of these people who always get it wrong. And they always want to get it wrong, and they always want to show alternatives as bad, because they have their established view as things should be, and they are like sheep, and brainwashed sheep want to keep their stupid agenda, to keep everyone stupid like anything, that they can exploit them and mistreat them. Yeah. But people are kind of changing and waking up, and this news they consume, so they understand we have to do something against them. So they made a new law now to make it very complicated. Let's see, this is very new for people to publish alternative news. They even make, it's called upload filter. So if you have a platform like Facebook or YouTube, they have to have a filter which checks your content, what you upload. It will go now in this direction. They will check, they have some certain software, and this somehow will be checked what you upload. And if it's not what they like, they can say no. They will erase it, censor it. Very interesting. So this is how draconical, how heavy the system must become now. Because they're afraid. They're fearing now. Like in Chemnitz, now there was some murder attack, right? This was 2 weeks ago. And it was really crazy. You know why I'm talking about this? Actually, to keep you awake. But anyway, it's interesting because it's our modern times, what's happening, and we should be a little bit aware. And this is what the demons do. Very practical. We speak about Hiranyakashipu and a nice story, right? Nice story. It was a big, big demon. It's a story we tell our children. There was a big, big demon once a time. He ruled the universe, but then our good Narasingha came and killed him. Hari Hari Bol. Huh? Actually, when you imagine Hiranyakashipu, he was powerful political tyrant, ruling the universe, and he had the heaviest propaganda, heaviest oppression. He had the heaviest political system. He was killing Brahmanas. He was doing heavy things. This was a real historical incident. So nowadays, of course, in Kali Yuga, the demons are not so powerful. They cannot do that, but they have their weird ways how to do similar things. Yeah. And there are people in charge of this world who are demons like Hiranyakashipu, small Hiranyakashipu. They are insignificant. Yeah? But they are demons. They don't want good for the people. Like one good example, proof for that, is the pharma industry. Pharma industry is after the weapon industry, biggest industry in the world. They make billions and billions of euros. So how can they make billions of euros when we are sick? So if we wouldn't be sick, they will not make money. That means they have to keep us sick. So there you can see these are demons, and they are doing actually like this. There are even theories that they invented AIDS, they invented cancer, things like this. I don't know if it's true, but I could imagine that they invent heavy diseases, spread in the world, and then they sell you the medicine, right? Or like weapon industry in Germany, because the Germans are so good with what they do, especially weapons. Germans produce very good weapons. So Germany makes a lot of money with weapons. But how can you sell the weapons? Yeah, if someone uses them. And where is it using it most? When there's war. No, it's not enough if, a forester runs to the forest and shoots, once a week a deer with 2 bullets. Yeah? He will not make much money. In a machine gun where it comes and bombs and tanks and submarines, this all you can make money. That's great. So they need war, they need disease, they need war, they need chaos. They made millions and trillions with 9/11. 9/11 was a wonderful business. 9/11 was wonderful business. And who is the naive person who still thinks that this was just some hijackers flying into this airplane and there's, we never knew that this will happen. It was planned, this is so obvious. But this is another sign of the demons. They are in power. And when a demon is in power, he can manipulate truth. He can manipulate what to do. And even it's obvious. You are cheating us. You are killing us. You demons. I'm in power. I don't care what you say. And it could be so frustrating for people nowadays. It's so obvious that they're cheating, that they're manipulating, that they're lying. It's so obvious. And they lose the people, more and more people wake up and see actually we are ruled by demons. Like the media, they're lying, they're cheating. It's not true what they write. Like I said, this Chemnitz, there was one guy killed on the street in Chemnitz by some migrants. And this happens now all the time here in Germany. And the media always wants to push this away. Because people more and more wake up. You send thousands of migrants here in and tell us, oh, they are so wonderful and great and they help us in the work and it's good that they come. But no, they kill us. They rape our women. They kill us on the street. They become gangs. And the Germans are so nice and don't have gangs. So if the small German runs around and comes a gang of these guys, they beat him up or kill him. So more and more people wake up and say, this is not possible. Why are you doing this to us? And people go now and demonstrate on the street, thousands. And this is against the system, because the system says, no, it's very good that they come. We have to help them. It's very important. And they will come anyway more. Now they will sign a contract for at least 300 million new migrants will come to Europe.
300 million?
Yeah, they sign a contract.
Who signed?
They will sign now in December. Merkel, of course, and all the leaders of Europe, a special new contract which makes migration easier. And they said it has a potential that 300 to 500 million migrants will come. So they killed this guy in the street, and and then people went on the street and demonstrated, and the media said, Nazis are on the street now. And they only looked at these people who are demonstrating. Don't kill us, come on, this is not right. Oh, look at the Nazis. And there was some video of some, they call it Hetzjagd, that there's some guys were running after some migrants, and this went into the media. And they said, look, this was like in Third Reich. Now the Germans go on the street, the Nazis, and they hunt now the migrants. Look, here's the migrant. And they run after him, beat him up, and it went to the media. And nobody was looking anymore at this murder and said, come on, some guy was murdered. Everyone looked only at the bad Nazis. And even some politician, one big politician said, no, this video, what this shows, it's not what they tell you in the media. And they kicked him out now because he was saying something against their Nazi propaganda. And so things like this happen now, and now we can see these demons are ruling the world. They're cheating, betraying, killing, bringing war, whatever. And you become very frustrated. The people become frustrated. And they think, and now even they want to kill our internet, that we can tell how it is really. They kill our internet, they make us slaves, and then they will brainwash us more, and they will put a chip in our hands or wherever, and we are completely registered of this Illuminati 666 demonic system. And it will become so terrible, and the people become completely frustrated. And it's true, they should be frustrated. But the only hope there is the Hare Krishna movement. It's actually like this. It's the only hope. We are under the radar still. We are under the radar. They look always now for the Nazis, and then see us. Oh, they have no hair, but oh no, they are not Nazis. Okay. Where are the Nazis now? And where are the Antifa? Oh, here's the Antifa, and here are the Nazis, and we can do our Hare Krishna thing. Yeah. We are not political agitators. You know, we will not. We don't have to become politically active. We don't have to defend the Third Reich or kill it, or we don't have to do that. We have to become devotees and surrender to Krishna. And Krishna will take care of it. And even 300 million migrants might come, and some of us are, my God, and yeah. Some devotees are very happy because now they have Arabic books and they like it. One devotee, we have him here, he said, oh, these migrants, they're very good. Oh, here's a Syrian. Oh, here, and he likes them very much. He distributes books to them. So maybe it's Krishna's plan that we can preach in the Muslim Arab countries where we could never preach, because if you go to Saudi Arabia, make Harinam, 5 minutes, you have not no seeker, you don't have any head anymore. Isn't it? Saudi Arabia, very heavy, you know. Do Harinam, we take your head, including seeker. Yeah, it's really like this. In some countries, they are so heavy, Muslim countries, not possible to preach. Okay, so they saw this, they don't come to us now. Syrians come, and Iraqis come, and from Africa they come. But maybe we can make them devotees and everything becomes very nice. That is a huge utopia. But anyways, as the only hope there is for a devotee, is there if you're a devotee. And it's true. It's not that the people are so poor, oh, this is so bad, Illuminati system, mistreating them, lying to them. People want it. As long as people are malicious in their heart, they will have a malicious government. As long as the people want to eat their meat, have the illicit sex, prostitution, pornography, craziness, gambling, drugs, they will have a government who is like this Kali. This is Kali Yuga government. If people would stop doing these things and would become good and devotees, this government would fall overnight. Would fall overnight. So we cannot change the government with their own weapons. Yeah? And Prabhupada said that the heart has to be changed of the people. Because if people become good in their heart, they will choose the good. If people have a good heart, if they are devotees, they will not buy any meat. I think none of us here, we are not even thinking of buying meat. So if all people of Jandelsbrunn, because we are ISKCON Jandelsbrunn, we should preach in Jandelsbrunn actually, right? Our first mission is to make Jandelsbrunn Krishna conscious. Yes, it's our first mission. You know, how can it be that in front of our door there is still Bavarian beer drinking and cow eating culture? How can we tolerate? We called ISKCON Jandelsbrunn. This is not to tolerate. So if people, and this we cannot preach now public because I'm now attacking the holy light culture. Light culture means the guiding culture. This is because they in Bavaria they are very proud of their light culture. And they want to defend this light culture, which means drinking beer, wearing lederhosen, and jodeln. Okay, no, jodeln is not Bavaria. This is more in Austria, but it's similar. So, if people would stop buying beer in the whole Jandelsbrunn, and it stays like this, they will close the beer shop. They cannot sell it anymore, right? So if people would stop these things, the demonic system with the economy, and they will stop. They can force you maybe. They want to force you to drink it or whatever. They make laws, everyone has to buy half-liter beer every day or something. But if people are not consuming, give your money where your mouth is, it says. Give your money where your mouth is. Give your money there, what you are standing for, what you're saying. So if we are devotees, naturally, we tear down the system. After all, it's all about money. After all, it's all about money. What is if there is a war, but nobody goes there? If all the soldiers in the world say, you know, if the general says, there's war, everyone go now. And they say, no, we don't go. There's no war. Just because they follow. Yeah. So in the same way, if people become devotees, and that is what we want to change, their heart, naturally, they will live a good life. They will not spend their money, and the system will break. The system will break. Especially for regulative principles. Will tear down the system. And in the end, a nice quote from Srimad Bhagavatam 7 Canto, very fitting to Narasingha Dev. It says, Prabhupada says that if we do Sankirtan Yagya, automatically Brahmana and Kshatriya governments will come back. And very interesting. He says, if we do Sankirtan, this is our duty. He says, and he says automatically, meaning we don't have to be now the politicians and the brahmanas for the world. No, we are pure Krishna Bhaktas, do Sankirtan. He says, automatically, Brahmana and Kshatriya governments will come back. There will come governments which is ruled by Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So this is how we smash this terrible Hiranyakashipu, Kali Yuga, Illuminati, 666 system, doing Sankirtan. It will change. Even though it looks like impossible, this is our duty. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Ja, wann schon wieder?
The demons, they cheating all the times, and can we as Hare Krishnas also cheating sometimes for the truth? And when yes, where is the border, the line?
If we can cheat for the truth, like Prabhupada actually said, devotee keeps the laws. We keep even the laws. Wir halten das Gesetz ein. You know, we have to pay our taxes, we have to keep the law. In that sense, we cannot cheat. No, actually, devotee doesn't cheat. We cheat maybe in preaching. Yeah, we tell them something and then there's something. You know, we don't tell them immediately you have to shave up and to paint your face or something like this. No, we tell them just chant a little bit Hare Krishna, makes you happy and peaceful, take a little prasadam. But we want to suck in people, of course, and convert them and change them deeply, completely, of course. Because we see what they do is terrible. Yeah? Like this, Prabhupada said, if the mother wants to give medicine to the child, she gives it in a sweet. Puts it, not bad, not good tasting medicine in a sweet candy. I said, oh, here's a candy. Just a candy. I said, oh, very nice. And then, oh, there was medicine inside, but too late. So this is cheating what we do. But besides that, we keep the laws and we cannot. Because the state anyway, will, you know, we can then have something in hand against you. Yeah, okay. Good, something else? Weiter sind wir.
Du hast auch gesagt, also, dass der Deity installiert wurde wegen Dritten Weltkrieg.
Ja.
Aber ich habe auch mal gehört, dass auch wegen Sankirtan, wegen Prahlad wahrscheinlich.
Also, yes, they said that they want to have Narasingha Dev to protect the preaching mission. Many reasons, preaching mission. And Prahlad Maharaj, of course, he is the one in the Bhagavatam who personifies the preaching mission when he says, the yogis who stay in Himalayas and they just take care of their own spiritual life, this is not good. Better we live in the cities and towns of the world with all these fools and rascals to preach to them. It's better nowadays to live directly in the center of the craziness. Right? If you preach. Actually, devotees should not live in the city. Only if they preach. So sometimes devotees stay in the city. They like city life or something. I don't know. But actually, devotees should live on the land like this. And if you're in the city, you're there for preaching. And if you don't do this, you will fall in Maya. Because city is very powerful. It's very difficult. And devotees get also influenced. Only preaching will protect you that you're in the city and there it's alright. So actually devotees and grihastas especially should live on farms and build farms. And preaching should be done in the city. Okay, something else? Last question? Keine mehr? Okay. Good, thank you so much. Narasingha Dev Bhagavan Ki Jai.